People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
Few know, but millions await what takes place in The Rise of Skywalker. The climactic episode 9 of the Star Wars saga. For its fans and for members of its cast, it's a conclusion fraught with feeling.
I think that's what was so thrilling about it. You know, it has always been a very David and Goliath story. This small team of people that are just up against impossible odds.
I don't think there was a day where I wasn't feeling very emotional. Because then even the fun scenes were so out of the ordinary for me that I was like, oh my God, we're having fun. Like, how do I do this thing?
Joining his cast, assembled at Disneyland's forthcoming Rise of the Resistance attraction,
And 3, 2, 1, action.
director and co-writer J.J. Abrams. Putting a bow on this trilogy.
Yeah. All right, coming in.
And 42 years worth of the biggest movie franchise ever.
Part of the fun of working on this new trilogy has been sort of embracing what has come before as the history of these characters.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir.
His blend of the fondly remembered and the freshly imagined rekindled Star Wars fever with 2015's The Force Awakens. Now he's back at it.
Force. It's calling to you.
How do we embrace what came before, the familiar, to tell a new story and go somewhere else? Because if you look at this as 9 films, not a trilogy or even one movie, but say it's the end of 9 chapters, this chapter needs to connect all those that came before.
A product of Lucasfilm, which, like ABC, is owned by the Walt Disney Company. Much of the movie's beating heart is thought to be focused on Daisy Ridley's Rey and her confrontations in the ruins with Adam Driver's Kylo Ren.
Rey is still desperate for understanding of her place in things. She doesn't believe what she's been told, so there's a desperate searching for where she comes from, what that means for her.
Throughout, the young woman who so memorably wielded a lightsaber in The Force Awakens must again deploy her Jedi expertise and singular radiance.
I feel, you know, the anticipation as well. And also, every time JJ says action, my heart goes, like, genuinely, I have to move my mic because my heart is always pounding. So still being, like, nervous every time is very helpful as well because it gives a bit of adrenaline.
Just as revved up is fan favorite John Boyega, pleased to see his everyman Finn getting screen time with his cohorts in the Resistance.
After The Last Jedi, just something that I missed, usually just having Daisy consistently on a day-to-day basis, just having Oscar there, it changes the entire movie when you're able to, like, interact with people who you actually have a close relationship with in real life.
And that was the draw for me from the beginning, was to have you guys all together.
All together, yeah.
My dearest Oscar.
Boyega thrilled the franchise's fans with this Instagram video, celebrating his on- and off-screen bromance with Oscar Isaac, who plays pilot Poe Dameron. Oscar, you were the recipient of a very tender video that John, of course, did on your behalf.
He has way too much time on his hands.
I long to be reunited with you on a final press tour.
But John said, it's very strange. I had a dirty diaper in my hands when someone was showing me. I'm like, what is this? That form of speaking, we kind of put on this voice and we talk to each other throughout the day in that way. yes, my friend. Oh, lovely. Yes, you know, and then he, you know, so he just kind of was sharing that energy with everyone. The biggest takeaway is just the deep love that I've acquired for these people that I got to work with over these many years, and how rare and special that is.
Rare and special, too, is the devotion of Star Wars fans to the late Carrie Fisher, their eternally beloved Leia. J.J. Abrams and co-writer Chris Terrio needed to find a suitable way to feature her one final time.
So we went and looked at the footage that we had not used from The Force Awakens. And what we realized was that Chris and I could use that footage and write scenes around Carrie. What's incredible is, you know, she's wonderful in this movie. The heartbreaking reality that she was no longer with us, you know, is so surreal because literally she's been alive in the editing room every day for nearly a year. And the idea that we're sitting here talking about her in the past tense is still crushing and impossible to imagine.
Even now, her wit and her compassionate insights continue to inspire.
And the thing she said was, this really matters to people. Like, this is an important thing. It's not ever taking itself too seriously or anything like that, but imbuing this whole experience with that level of importance is important in itself, because this matters, you know, to millions of people.
And they will see the final episode. What do you think their emotions will be? Are there going to be grief counselors outside the theater as they have this?
Well, I grew up in a family of very, very diehard Star Wars nerds, and I did, you know, share what happens, and it was just great just to hear. It's just like, oh, this is just it. It brings everything together.
6 years of your life, Daisy, you put on this. What did you say to yourself you had learned at the end of it?
I think it's like such a strange time, because I would say early 20s is such a big changing time anyway. And finishing it up, I feel much more confident. When people are going, you can do it, you're like, eventually you're like, maybe I can do it, yeah. I always felt so safe in the environment. But yeah, 6 happy years.
There's something about Star Wars as a whole that I think has enormous heart. I mean, the dream is to give people that sense of, you know, that sort of sublime transcendence, that feeling of getting to go somewhere that no other kind of movie will take you.
For Nightline, I'm Chris Connolly in Anaheim, California.
The Rise of Skywalker comes out on December 20th.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.